Blog Talk Radio.
Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot, oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker. I am here with my co-host, Patricia Kirkman, PK, and George Lugo. And we have, what a show we have planned for you guys tonight. It's awesome. But first, let's start with you, PK. We've got some numbers to talk about. What's going on?
Oh, we certainly do. Firstly, I want to add that, thank you, God, today is supposedly the last day of retrograde. Mercury can leap down. But I hate to say it's going to drag its feet, and it's going to, we have that little shadow period afterwards. So don't jump right out there and get everything fixed yet that you need to take care of. Do pay attention to your information that you need to share or details that have to be taken care of. But think in terms of this. This month is all about change. We've been talking about it. Accidents, yes, if you don't pay attention. But change also has opportunity to it. But change brings us information many times that we weren't totally ready for. Oh, heck, we've been ready for this one for a long time. It's the Epstein situation. There's a lot of things going on. Prince Andrew evidently put his foot in the bucket. So he's in deep doo-doo now. And Epstein, as we had said a number of months back, or I shouldn't say months, weeks back, that this wasn't a suicide. It's everything I see is not a suicide. He was assisted in living to the other side. And when we're taking a look at that aspect of things, I took a look at the first names of Epstein and Prince Andrew. Both of them, I took a look at their birthdays more than anything else. Epstein's birthday is January 20th. Prince Andrew's is February 19th. They both relate to the numbers 2 and 1. Issues with females, issues with males, both being equally 2, which puts them both in the same personal year. Isn't that strange? It's a 6th year for them where they wanted things to be perfect, coming out of what would have been considered more of a sensual, sexual of their last year's stuff. When all this stuff started to hit the fan, it's not done yet, and we're going to find out before it's over with that we've got more people that are going to be coming to trial because of what has been taking place, or what took place, let's put it that way. It's not going to be pretty, but we get to have a front row seat. And let's sit there and see what we can do to make sure this type of thing never happens again. It's disgusting.
That's the idea. I mean, this went on for so long. It was so disgusting and just a horrible, horrible thing. George, did you pick up on anything with this Epstein murder?
Well, I used to live in L.A., and a lot of this kind of stuff happened all the time over there. So, I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff. I mean, this guy, where he is right now, nobody gets away with anything, and yet they kind of do, but he won't. There's just a lot that he's going to have to pay for, so, yeah.
Well, that's for sure. Who do you think, did you pick up on anything of who was behind the murder?
No.
That could be a
anything. You better let us know.
Lineup that would like to be there to have taken care of that murder. Because these are not nice people. None of them.
No.
And
these are obviously trained professionals.
In their case, they've used it to the nth degree, which is sad.
Mm-hmm.
Because young ladies that are left afterwards, what they've been through, you have a hard time recouping from things like that. But I think with the money they'll receive eventually, they can get some good help with their healing and the process of going forward. Maybe this will teach a lot of people out there, the young girls that think it's okay to run away, play, and have fun. There is no free lunch, ladies. Never. Before it's somewhere between here and there.
Well, you know that old
Los
saying.
Angeles. Go ahead.
There's always free cheese in the mousetrap.
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah. You know, I was going to say that in Los Angeles at the Greyhound bus station, there'd be all these young, innocent girls getting off trying to come to Hollywood, you know, make a name for themselves. And, boy, it's like getting thrown in a cheese grater for most of those girls. And they had a lot of what they call chicken hawks looking for those girls, you know.
In New York is the same way. The way because they want to be famous, not infamous. They think they're going to be famous, and the end result is they go the other direction, which is sad.
That is. It's very sad. But it's interesting. So, PK, you're saying that, thank God, Mercury retrograde is coming to an end, but we have a shadow period, so we all just have to kind of walk gently through it. But also that we will be able to finally get the truth of all of this and who was involved for sure, and all of what was going on, and hopefully we'll see some people in handcuffs at the end of the day who perpetrated these types of crimes. So it'd be nice to clean that up. So good.
Maybe they'll ground the Lolita Express once and for all.
Yeah. Really. Crazy stuff. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I also wanted to share with everybody that we had a wonderful Saturday with shaman Itzhak Beery. It was phenomenal, and oh my God, we were able to have just the most magical workshop I've ever attended, and it was at Azure Green's Blossom Center Pyramid, which is aligned the same way the pyramid is aligned in Egypt. So the energy in that room was amazing, and the group that came together from Hartford and Goshen and Middlefield and Pittsfield, it was just so powerful. So a big shout-out to Itzhak Beery for leading us through and into the shaman's world. Quite phenomenal. If you haven't read Itzhak's books, I highly recommend them. He's been on the show several times, and just a delightful man and a powerful shaman. So, again, thank you so much, Itzhak, for giving us a great view into the shaman's world. And let's see, we also have candles on sale at supernaturalgirls.com for your holidays. And we also have some great paranormal news, as usual, and that can be found on our Facebook page. And one of the things that we were all discussing before the show is the Spotsville Monster. Now, I don't know if anybody in the audience has seen this yet, but we recommend it. It's a very short documentary, about 35 minutes long. It's on Amazon Prime, and it is about a family and other people, neighbors also, in Kentucky that were completely harassed by a group of Bigfoot. And there were some really interesting anomalies about this case. And, again, I just can't tell you enough. It's so important that you watch this. But one of them was that they were finding their farm animals and some neighbors' dogs with the soft tissue removed and the entrails removed. Now, this is typical, as you all know, of UFOs coming over ranch property and picking up the animals and then dumping them back without these soft tissues, and it's all surgically removed. Well, with this Spotsville Monster documentary, the same thing was happening, but there were no UFOs. It was just Bigfoot. That really made me think. So go watch that documentary. It's really well done. You get to hear directly from the people that witnessed it, and it's pretty frightening. Now, one of the ranchers, or one of the farmers, because this is in Kentucky, happened to see a Bigfoot standing inside a building on this farm. And he approached it. He had his gun aimed at this thing, and the Bigfoot was just standing there, and he aimed his gun, and the Bigfoot disappeared right in front of him. So we're back to that quality of it being interdimensional. But what I can't figure out, and I don't know what you guys think about this, PK and George, but I cannot figure out this thing about the soft tissue removal. So if you guys have any thoughts, do let me know. But that's the first time I've ever heard of this in relationship to just Bigfoot and having nothing to do with UFOs. So what do you guys think?
I think it's interdimensional.
It doesn't make
sense. It's
sense.
a head scratcher, isn't it? It's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I thought was interesting? Like the one guy saw them, the Bigfoot standing outside, and he walked over there. And, of course, it went away. But when he went there were no footprints. There was nothing there. And this thing is 8-9 feet tall and huge, massive muscle.
Right. There was another anomaly. Yes.
Yeah, that's another thing that there's no prints. Very rare, unless he steps in something that's soft, like mud or something. But then, But yeah, and then the tooth they found that tooth, and they wouldn't let the scientists take it and do a genetic deal on it. They just kind of had to look at it through pictures. And the guys that did check it out. Yeah, I know. That would really sum it up. They thought it was a pig incisor. But
a hog, yeah.
They're not
One
sure.
Of those big
they're
feral
not sure.
Hogs.
Hog, yeah, the big feral hogs, yeah. And they're not sure. But it was very interesting how everybody saw this thing and how it scared them half to death. And
I know, rattling their doors. And remember last week,
walking around the house.
Yeah, we were talking about the same thing happening. It happened in Ohio last week. We were talking about that. And the week before that, New Hampshire. Same thing with Bigfoot breaking into cars. Coming up to doors and trying to get inside. That seems to be happening more and more. But the Spotsville Monster, everybody, take a look at that on Amazon Prime. Very interesting documentary. And let's see, what else? Well, of course, if you want a numerology reading, you've got to go and make an appointment with Patricia Kirkman at patriciakirkman.com. And if you want a psychic mediumship reading with the best in the world, that's George Lugo. And you can get to George at crystalgatereadings.com. That's crystalgatereadings.com. So tonight, we are so blessed because we're talking about angels again. We have with us tonight Corin Grillo. Now, she had an incredible miracle where the angels saved her life, and we're going to hear all about it. And now she's actually teaching people how to get in touch with angels, how to call on them for specific help, exactly how to contact them. And she wants everybody to know miracles are real. So let's get her on the show. Corin, welcome to Supernatural Girls.
Oh, I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me on.
It's our pleasure. You've got a lot to share with people, but let's start with what happened to you. You were a psychotherapist, and yet you were struggling with depression. So let's start there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think 9 out of 10 therapists struggle with depression, but nothing new there. But yeah, it was a rough ride early on in my childhood, and I did a fairly good job after my 20s to be able to play the adult role, like the responsible adult role. But I always had this kind of secret life of inner torture, of literally wanting to die. But I still kept going. I had this beautiful daughter and, a husband. And, I did the formula, got a great education, had a great career, had a house and a kid and a husband. And it just, that formula really didn't work for me. It just
when did your depression start? Was it lifelong, or did it hit when you were an adult?
Well, I think I didn't frame it as depression when I was young, but there's a lot of violence growing up, and then my parent, who was my safety, who was really my rock, she died when I was a teenager, So that left me in a really peculiar position. And I lost contact with my dad when I was about 14. And so there was a lot of struggle through those years. And I still, what's crazy, here's what's weird. I still managed to get into UCLA, so I was, again, it's like this dual life where I was doing okay from what people could see from the outside, but the inside I was really struggling. And I think I just never wanted to be a burden on anybody. But after my mom died, I really, my mom died when it was my first quarter of going to college. And I, when you don't have anybody watching over you and you have this deep grief, I think that was the moment where I was finally done with the world. I had experienced already so much. It was like, I would like for this day to end permanently. And really back then that was my only prayer, was for that day to be my last. But I didn't have the strength or the courage that it takes to actually end my life. So I instead chose to do a lot of high risk behaviors and got into drugs and all of this craziness. But eventually kind of pulled myself back together. So yeah, I think when I was in my teens is when I really felt the depression. Maybe I didn't know what it was called, but that's when I was really wishing to die.
Oh my
and
goodness!
And then how did the angels
traumatic.
play into it?
What was that?
Say that again, George. I missed what you just said.
How did the angels play into this?
Yeah, well, it took when I look back, or how did I turn it all around?
Yeah, how did you turn around? Like, when did you really notice that they were there to help you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think when they came into my life, it was very obvious. It wasn't this subtle thing. And I was working in Los Angeles as a county mental health professional, helping to rescue gang members off the streets. And I'd go into the neighborhoods and talk to the families and help keep them out of jail, essentially, and try and keep them in school. But it was really intense. It was an intense job. And then I had a child at home, and my house was going into foreclosure, and our marriage was on the brink of divorce. Yeah, there's all this stuff going on. So it was another really bad period. And a friend of mine bought a angel healing for me for my birthday. And I didn't really know what that was back then. And I had a concept of angels. I grew up Catholic as a youngster, and I knew what angels were, but I didn't necessarily have the belief that they're actually there to help me. And so she bought me this healing, and I went in just thinking I was going to a psychic, like, okay, great psychic. But what ended up happening, right? Like, how fun. Like, to me, that's just fun. I didn't expect what happened to happen. So I go in, and she does this, she starts saying all this stuff about my life that she shouldn't know, and she started doing this energy work on me, this energy healing, and right away I could feel something moving inside my body, like electrical currents. I didn't really know how to frame it back then, but it was just energy moving in my body. And by the end of that session, I felt so much lighter and brighter. So I told her, wow, okay, that was really intensely awesome. And, essentially, what do I do now? And she said, well, just talk to your angels. But I was like, okay. And she said, just talk to them like they're real, just like they're people. And so that's exactly what I did. And over the next few days of doing that, it was almost like right away the angel synchronicities bumped up. And, every time I'm thinking about an angel driving down the road, I look over and there's like an angel, there's a laundry truck with angel wings on it called Angel's Laundry Service, or a billboard. Yeah, no, for real. Or a license plate in front of me. I remember this one had the word angel on it right when I was thinking angels, and the license plate is like angel for you. And a few other things, like the radio turning on, and it's about something about an angel, and it got so intense. I was like, okay, this might actually be true. There might be angels with me. I don't know. But it wasn't until day 3 that I really, about 3 days of doing this, that really was the turning point for me. And I was going to a client's house in one of the ghettos of Los Angeles in broad daylight. And as I'm driving down the street, a bird drops directly from the sky in front of my car, and it was so abrupt, I had to put the brakes on. So I drove around the bird, and I saw that it was a bird with a really good wing that was kind of pushing itself around, but the other wing looked mangled. And I felt all of this love and compassion pouring out of me because I've been, talking to angels. My heart was working finally for the first time in years. But I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to get out of the car. Obviously, it's a dangerous neighborhood. And so what I did was I asked the angels for help. So I prayed for it. I kept driving around. I asked the angels to take the bird out of its suffering. And as I looked through the rearview mirror, the bird started shimmying on the ground a little bit, little mini bounces. And so I stopped because it looked really peculiar. But as I kept on watching, a tiny bird jumped up from the body of that bird and flew away. And then another tiny bird from that bird jumped up and flew away. And then a third bird that was a little bit smaller and darker than the other ones jumped up and flew away from the body of that larger bird. The original bird was about pigeon size. So when I look on the ground, I see no body. There's no bird left on the ground. And so, of course, I stopped the car. And at that point, I decided, I don't care if I'm in a dangerous neighborhood. I'm going to get out of the car and check and see what just happened. And there was nothing behind the car. And I'll tell you, the static electricity was intense. And my heart had this love explosion. And I could just feel a presence with me. I didn't know how to define it at the time. But I will tell you that moment changed the trajectory of my life.
Gosh.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's amazing. So 3 birds flew away.
What age were you at that time, may I ask? Were you about 36?
What was that?
What age were you at that time? About 36?
I was about 30. I was about 36, 37, somewhere around there.
That's what I was picking up, because that's when a major change was about to take place. You were ready for it. You were ready for it before you even had the reading. You just didn't know it yet.
Well, let me tell you, that I could not have predicted, because probably the week or two prior, I was driving and going, and I'll tell you the truth, I was drinking about a fifth of tequila every 2 days. I was on antidepressants. I was on other Adderall, which would lift me up. I mean, there was no indication that anything was going to change anytime soon. And so it was extremely abrupt. It's like my car didn't just hit the brakes. My whole life hit the brakes that day. And, so 36. Wow, that's intense. That's amazing you picked that up.
Oh, that's wonderful. Because you have so much to offer other people, you had to make that change.
Well, I felt like after that, I mean, I think it came on so strong because I was really that dense and that dumb. I think I needed an actual miracle in order for it to get my attention.
Mhm.
Yeah,
definitely.
physical miracle.
Yes, that is just incredible. Oh,
I know,
goodness.
and you know what's interesting is I was embarrassed to talk about it because I'm a psychotherapist. So I didn't want anybody. I knew that people would think I was crazy. So it literally took me 2 years to actually say it publicly. And also, but the things that were happening in my life from that moment on were so radical and incredible. Like I woke up with hope every morning, and I started learning. It was the voice, like my inner voice, the one that has good things to say to me. I started being able to hear that voice of intuition. And, at a certain point, I just had to start saying it out loud, and I stopped caring about what people were going to think step by step.
And as you mentioned in the book, big change between being a psychotherapist and talking about angels.
It's very, very interesting and awkward transition. But my peers were like, "Now, what are you doing?" And I was like, "I don't know. I just got to do it. I'm telling you, it works. It just works, people." Because what's funny is, as a therapist, you really want to help people, and I tried to continue to do it the traditional way. But then when you're sitting with someone who's suicidal or hasn't stopped crying for 6 months, and you can feel the presence start coming into the room, and you feel the angels, like at some point the most ethical thing to do is to start speaking it and naming it and just asking if they want that kind of information or maybe want to try something different. So that's when I started doing energy work, which I didn't really do energy work before that, but I was kind of guided by spirit on how to do it. And I've learned some things after the miracle. I did study a little bit about kind of, okay, now what the heck just happened back then, and I started learning about energy. But yeah, it was really about my clients and what's going to help my clients the fastest. So when I started bringing in spirit and doing more spiritual kind of healing rather than intellectual, simply psychologically based healing is when people started having radical healing. I mean, they started, even people who were non-believers. So those people, they don't care how you go about it. Just help them.
Well, that's
a
true.
Small portion of my practice.
Go ahead.
Okay, a small portion of my practice, I get a lot of psychiatrists that come to me. And, and they always tell me, they say, George, don't tell anybody I came here. I can get disbarred or but I've just run out of things to say, the textbook. I've run out. And they'll send me their clients, they come and, it's interesting. I think that's very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, the medical profession, I feel like, is eventually going to catch up. Because back when I kind of converted over, and it's not like I gave up psychotherapy 100%, because I feel like having a foundation in mental health is really important. But I would only let people tell me their story for 30 minutes, and the last half hour, we're going to bring in some light and do some clearing. And yeah, but I think the medical profession, one of my passions is really speaking openly about this to other therapists and psychologists, because I know what it feels like when you feel stuck like that. You want to help people, but yeah, my colleagues, they were just like, now what are you doing? And I was just, would just be like, yeah, I know, it's so weird. But I'm going to tell you right now, after 10 years of doing this, they're the ones coming to me, like you, George. They're the ones coming to me saying, now, what did you do? What are you doing? Like, they're waking up. People are waking up.
Yep.
It's about time. It's so needed. I was watching a movie last night called Heal, which is about energy healing versus traditional healing. It was fascinating. And it does show that finally, physics and science is catching up with the spiritual aspect of who we are. And this work you're doing is so important because people need real healing. And they're not going to get it with talk therapy, let's face it. That's outmoded. And it just doesn't work. And like you said, it's great to have the foundation so you know how to identify certain mental syndromes that may need further treatment with other medications or whatever. But at the same time, that spiritual aspect is so powerful. And I got to ask you a question because I keep seeing this. When people go through trauma in childhood like you did, I don't know if you did, George, or you, PK, but it disorganizes the energy. And when you started talking about the angels coming into your life, what I saw was like a bunch of angels coming in there and doing housekeeping. Like they were just arranging and organizing your energy. And I don't know if you felt like that, but certainly your book has organized all this material so perfectly. I wonder if you felt the same thing.
Oh, yeah. It was that and a lot of other stuff. But, yeah, it was like I could see more clearly. Maybe it was like my next steps became a little more clear. And I technically, I do not know how the person that I was before was capable of producing a book or anything that I've done internationally, all the programs and classes that I've taught. Like, how the heck did that happen? And I know how it happened with the support of really, I feel like the angels, it's not the angels per se, but they do help you resurrect your original edifice, like who you are at an essence level, and bring out they pave a way for you to bring out your potential and declutter the crap that we've absorbed.
They sure do. Yeah. And
we do tend to carry so much with us that if we just paid attention to the angels around us, we could lighten our load tremendously.
Yes.
some of the light workers that come to me, I tell them after you get done with your session with somebody, see it being locked in. Because lots of times, like you go to a massage therapist, they work on you. You feel better at the moment, but a week later, you're like back to zero again, and they got to come back. So I always tell them, any kind of work that you do, whether it's that or psychological, whatever, lock it in. And tell them that it's locked in. That way, they can go a lot further with the treatment. And you would think that since they're healthier, they're not going to come back. It's actually the opposite. They ended up telling a whole bunch of other people, and they all started showing up. So it works that way. It's really important to get your angels to lock it in, the treatment.
What? I love that perspective, George, because I 100% agree. When the angels started working through me, I mean, people were healing at radical rates. I worked myself out of clientele quickly. Like where a therapist, you got a client for 10 years.
Right.
They're coming back because they're not getting much better. But for me, I noticed people would want to come back because they had so much fun. But it's like, well, what are we going to do today? You're feeling great. You're all connected. You got your spirit flowing. What are you going to do? And so that's why I started developing online courses and teaching people intuition and energy medicine and how to work with angels in that way because we ran out of stuff to do. It's like, okay, let's just teach you how to do it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corin, let me ask you a question about, because I know you talk about the hierarchy of angels in your book and who a number of them are and how to do invocations to get their help. But here's the question that it keeps coming up as we talk to people who work with angels, and I'm not sure I totally have an answer, so I want to know what you think. Where do the angels sit in relationship to human beings? Because when you talk about it in your book, it's almost like they are not above us. They have to help us. So where are they in relationship to you and me and George and PK? You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. I love that question. I haven't been asked that, but let me just kind of feel into this one and so I can see what Spirit wants to say right now about it. And it's interesting because I'm already there. I'm getting a feeling of instead of a hierarchy, it's more of a flat organization. And it's almost like instead of us, I think humans, we have a way to think about things as steps higher and higher and higher. But really our consciousness and the way spirit unfolds is like a flower blossoming. And so we all are connected to the same core, like rose petals, they're all connected at the very core. And so there's no hierarchy. We just unfold and we're working together as a teammate almost, but kind of, did you see what I'm saying there with that visual?
Yeah, so it's like a team effort, but you did say in the book that we do have to call on them. We do have to make that effort to say, hey, I want your help. I want you to be on my team, right?
And it's like we need a phone line, and that phone line is your intention. But what they're showing me with the flower here is that the stem and the root and all of that, the seed is God, would be creator, source, whatever you want to call it. And then angels and all of these essential beings and allies are part of the petal work. And so how do we connect with those beings that are our allies, support system? Because there's, of course, other beings that are not necessarily going to be our greatest allies. So we do that with our intention because we're all connected, and that's why we can collaborate, because beings of love are part of the same source.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a great answer. Well, thank you. And we've got a caller with a question here. I'm going to bring the caller on the air. This is area code 929.
Hi. Hello.
I'm hitting the button. And hi, 929. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, my name is Terry, and I'm calling from New York.
Hi, Terry. Do you have a question for Corin?
Yeah, just checking to see if there are any messages in front of the angels.
Can you say that again? My phone picked up something and started talking to me while you were talking.
Yeah.
Oh, just checking to see if there are any messages from the angels.
And your name again?
Terry.
Terry. Hi, Terry.
Hey, how are you today?
Good. And so it's interesting. The first thing I'm feeling when I say your name is more like a archangel. It's like Archangel Jophiel, but she's coming in right at your sacral chakra. Are you familiar with your chakras there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then to me, when I put these two images together, she's helping you lift, or she wants you to help lift and really heal and clear and essentially beautify your feelings or thoughts about any relationships that you have going on right now or that maybe you may be clinging to in the past. So she wants to help you really just come in and see your life through a even more beautiful lens, and a really great way that you could work with her is just sitting. You can sit with Rose and sit with something that really inspires beauty in you, and you can ask Archangel Jophiel to come and to help bring that beauty into any area of your life and any relationship that may be touchy, tricky, or toxic right now.
Okay. That sounds good. That makes sense, too. All right.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Terry, for your call.
Thank you
you've
so
got
much.
some connecting to do with Jophiel. Good luck. Keep us posted on how that goes.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. I just love Jophiel. I mean, the way she's coming in right now is just very uplifting. And I feel like with these callers or anybody who asks, it's not just a message for the one person. It's really a message for all of us who feel resonance with that message. So just saying, if anybody's listening.
I mean, I'm sitting here with my phone completely off, okay? And it's on a separate chair far from me. And all of a sudden, it started talking to me while Terry was talking. And the message I take from that is that the angels are always listening. So we really don't have any privacy with the angels, do we?
Yeah, we really don't. Luckily, we don't need that much privacy, but really about that, humans carry so much shame about the things that we're doing, or we get so secretive and hiding our darkness, and we all struggle. It doesn't matter how conscious we are or spiritual we are. Every human has human issues. And what I've learned through working with the angels is how loving they are, even in my worst moments. And really, I encountered them in one of my worst moments. And so, yeah, no, there's definitely no privacy, but it's okay because it's safe company.
That's good. That's really great. Well, we're going to take a very short break and come back and talk specifically about the angels you've written about in your book and how we can speak with them and get their help. And you said they can help us on anything. So we want to know more about that. So stay tuned, everybody. You are listening to Supernatural Girls Radio, and we will be right back.
Pure essential oils, specialized minerals, and a revolutionary anti-aging technology. Astridian combines the best of all scientifically proven ingredients in easy-to-use creams, lotions, and concentrated serums. Astridian's advanced line of products take your skin to a new level of being healthy and beautiful. We offer a variety of collections that address all your skin concerns. The Essential Anti-Aging Series treats and moisturizes your skin for a long-lasting, younger look. The Multivitamin Series promotes healthy skin with high-quality vitamins and minerals. The Sports Series restores skin from cellular damage and stress. Astridian also offers a revitalizing solution for hair and a professional series for doctors and medical spas. Visit astridian.love today and begin your new journey to healthy, beautiful, youthful skin. Astridian, beyond your expectations.
Are you ready for a new experience of freedom and powerful connection? Would you like a positive, effortless change in your life? Then come to CosmicFusion.com, where we offer the most advanced energy clearing and expansion techniques in the world, with a quantum vortex energy to activate your divine blueprint and life's purpose. When your soul leads the way with cosmic fusion and quantum vortex energy, you can break clear of past difficulties and blocks with the power of the source. With Cosmic Fusion, the source energy does the work for you. It's easy and effortless. Listen to our free meditation right from our Cosmic Fusion website, the Cosmic Code Meditation. Sign up for one of our interactive webinars today. Come to Cosmic Fusion, www.kosmicfusion.com, to experience an effortless awakening and transformation. Are you ready for an upgrade? Are you ready for a new experience of living in the fifth dimensional magic and powerful connection? Then visit CosmicFusion.com today. CosmicFusion.com.
There are a lot of psychics out there. How do you decide which one is right for you? You look for someone who empowers you, who's practical and spiritually connected, who says, here are your opportunities, here are your challenges, and here's a way to deal with them, and then gives you your own toolbox to make your life everything you want it to be. Hi, I'm Corby Mitleid, and that's how I work with you. As a certified professional tarot reader, I've helped thousands of people for over 40 years through my toolbox. Cards, past life retrieval, numerology, spirit guide conferences, and mediumship. Whether it's career, relationships, finances, or your spiritual road, together we can replace your confusion with clarity. And you'll probably find a little laughter along the way. Visit me at CorbyMitleid.com to find out how to cross your bridge from fear to fearlessness and fly. And tell me you found me at Supernatural Girls for a special gift with your reading. Corby Mitleid, the practical psychic for catching your tomorrows today. Find me at CorbyMitleid.com. That's CorbyMitleid.com.
Your property tax bill. Have you seen it lately? It's frightening. Your property taxes are going up while your home value is going down. It's time to fight back and win. For the real truth about the property tax system, get attorney Pat Quintilian's book, Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Attorney Quintilian answers all your questions and gives you the facts you need to fight a property tax bill that is spiraling out of control. You'll also read about what happens to property owners who don't check their property records, only to find out too late they're taxed on square footage, fixtures, and even buildings that they don't own. Is this happening to you? Learn your rights. Buy attorney Pat Quintilian's book today. Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Available on Amazon.com.
Are you frustrated with endless mantras, affirmations, and processes that promise to align your life with your dreams, only to find yourself years later in the same space where you began? Do you feel like you must be doing something wrong because nothing seems to be working? Don't you just wish that someone could shift your consciousness for you and your life could align with your desires without all the effort? Well, your wish is about to come true. Hi, I'm Carrie Cannon, and I have a gift that allows me to align the consciousness of others to be in harmony with their dreams. The best part is, it requires no particular effort on your part. Upon listening to a consciousness alignment, people have reported instant energy shifts, financial windfalls, soulmate connections, healed relationships, physical healings, and more. To gain access to a free trial offer for my entire Manifesting Miracles library of consciousness alignments, go to CommandMiracles.com now for details. Again, that's CommandMiracles.com for information about our free trial offer. That's CommandMiracles.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Supernatural Girls Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker. I am here with my co-host, Patricia Kirkman, PK, and George Lugo, and our great guest tonight, Corin, Grillo, who has a fabulous book that we've been talking about, The Angel Experiment, a 21-day magical adventure to heal your life. And before we get started on the angels, I just wanted to let you guys know there's something else I forgot to mention on our Facebook page. I was called on the phone by Paranormalish Radio to interpret a dream for a very talented young actress by the name of Isabella Merced. She is the star of a new movie I believe it's called The Lost City of Gold, Dora the Explorer. She had an amazing dream to share, so I interpreted that for her. As it turns out, she comes from a long line of very strong Peruvian women who work with brujeria. So, anyways, fascinating conversation with Isabella, tremendously talented young woman and wise beyond her years. That's on the Facebook page also, if you'd like to hear that dream and the interpretation. So now let's get back to Corin and all of these angels who really do want to work with us, Corin, right? They can't wait to help us.
Yes. They really can. I mean, they're just right there, hanging out with you, just waiting for a nudge.
Now, so they really need our request? I mean, because some people, I think, end up in terrible accidents or whatever, and suddenly they just appear.
Yes. Yes.
So there's that way that it happens also.
Oh, yeah, I think that people are definitely saved from horrible things happening if it's from what they say, if it's not their time or they're being shielded and protected. So we all have guardian angels that are there protecting and shielding us all the time. But, you know, taking it to the next level, which is for you to be in conscious communication is just a whole other ball of wax, a whole other ball game. But generally, they cannot influence free will. They can just they can make suggestions unless something's out of alignment.
So when you say unless something's out of alignment, what do you mean by that?
I mean, like, it's divine timing. Like, oh, it's not this person's time to die. Then that's what we've seen. It's just people getting saved at, you know, something cataclysmic is about to happen, and that's when, you know, an angel will really manifest out of nowhere and be like, okay, that's the time, go, you know. But for the most part of what we see, I would say, I don't know the percentage, but for the most part, we do have to engage to really get the full benefit. Although I feel like angels are in our midst all the time helping us, it's just a matter of a perspective shift in order to really see the way that we're being supported by spirit on the daily. And that's even without talking to them and officially being aware of them.
I noticed that. I've literally heard, you know, I was in a quiet room and I was just thinking, man, I got to make some changes. I've got to do something different here. And I literally heard, like, fingers rapping on the desk, kind of going like, like, all you got to do is ask. You know, just ask. And, like, just trying to get my attention to them. And then when I get that, then I go, oh, okay, so then I start concentrating a little bit, and then things do shift. They do change. But they're waiting for you to call on them occasionally. And they'll do anything.
I love that. That is so cute. That's so cute, George. The little fingers on the desk. Yeah, I feel like they're here, and they are throwing us bones all the time. But because we're a little dense, like I was dense back in the day, I wasn't paying attention.
Right. Yeah, we get tangled up in our thoughts and feelings, and sometimes they do things like that to kind of make you snap out of it.
Exactly.
And you're saying in your book that there is a way to do this. There is a powerful way to communicate with them. What is it?
Yes. Okay. So I just want to make it clear. It's not the only way to communicate with them. It's just one of the most powerful ways that I've seen to really anchor that connection as quickly as possible. So we can do it lighthearted and just kind of drive and talk to them, or we can take it up a notch, which is do it ceremonially and create kind of a ritual around it. So in the book, I talk about doing things like invocations, and it's a 21-day invocation, and we guide you through 21 meditations and energy shifts, energy practices and activations that really help not just call in the archangels, but also help your energy field be able to open up to the gifts that they're trying to give us. And
so let's start with how you've laid the book out, because it is very organized, which I appreciate very much, and our audience will too once they get the book and start working with it. So walk us do this. So how do you instruct people to follow this? And what is the 21-day adventure? What are you asking people to do?
Yes, in the beginning, I just kind of opened you up to the field of believing angels are real because I didn't really know how real and practical they were, that they could just actually help with all the things, like everything. Your relationship with your kids, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with God, your relationship with your partners and your boss and all that stuff. So I didn't know, plus all the cash and life purpose stuff and, you name it. So I didn't know. So I walk people through how to talk to angels, a powerful way how to talk to angels, and also teach them and talk to them about how angels talk back to us, because it's not always ultra obvious. And then the actual 21-day adventure is a really beautiful step-by-step process of unfolding. And each day was channeled. I would sit every day and say, okay, angels, what's day one? And then a certain archangel would come forward and they would give their message. We would co-create the meditation and the invocation, and that's really what we did. And so each day really builds on the next. And strangely, all it takes is 10 to 15 minutes a day to create this kind of opening and to open up that portal and that communication line, because people's consciousness starts shifting right away, and the angels start decluttering people's minds and hearts right away. And I was shocked when I first released this. It was based on a program that I did. I kicked off about 5 or 6 years ago. To me, it was an experiment. I was like, what happens if we, the angels were encouraging me to stop everything I was doing and we're going to create this angel ritual, this 21-day angel ritual. It was the first time I'd ever done that. And so I sat with them and did it and released it to an international audience and essentially crossed my fingers. Okay, angels, do your thing. And I was stunned at the feedback we were getting in our Facebook group, because we all started it together, and incredible things started happening, like people dropping their addictions and people having physical healing or relationships being repaired. Or I just talked to my brother for the first time in 2 years. Actually, that one just happened with someone who's reading the Angel Experiment now. She messaged me and said, I can't believe it. My brother called me. He's refused to talk to me for 2 years. So it's just a step-by-step beautiful process that was channeled through the angels.
Can you do an invocation for our audience of bringing the angels into our lives so that we are working with them and more conscious of them?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it. Actually, I have the book right here. What I'm going to do is just open up the book and see where the angels want us to go today for this particular community. Oh, my gosh. This is so great. Okay. So we ended up on day 19, which is divine love. And it's divine love with the seraphim, which is to me, this speaks to the fact that the community that you are talking to and that you're reaching out to is full of extremely powerful, energetic beings, because the seraphim are known to be the order of the angels closest to the throne of God, and it's divine love. Can it get any better? Okay, so I'm going to actually read the invocation that we channeled, and let's see if I can find it here.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting. Great. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no, thank you for asking. I'm super excited about this one. Okay, so here's what I'd like for everyone to do is really open your heart and feel into your body and bring yourself all the way to your body. Do your best to let go of everything that the day was today, any responsibilities, because part of the task of bringing angels into your life is being ready to receive them. And so here we go.
Okay.
Dear Creator of all that is and holy order of the seraphim, you who are closest to the Creator, you who are divine love manifested, I thank you for breathing the fire of divine love into every aspect of my life, into my mind and my heart. And I ask for your help today in opening up all of me to even deeper love so that I may dance with life and with the divine. I thank you today for this powerful gift. And so with an invocation, it's about activating this energy inside of you too. So you just breathe and allow the energy to awaken.
So this was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm curious. Just saying that is all we need to do. So it's not a big, long procedure, which is wonderful. So every day, doing a little invocation like that, which takes all of a few minutes. George, we're getting a lot of feedback from you on your phone, so I'm just going to mute you. Not that I don't want to hear what you have to say, but we're getting a tremendous amount of feedback from you, so I'm just going to mute you. Okay. So it doesn't take a long time to do this, which is wonderful. So everybody can get up in the morning. They can do this just as easily as they brush their teeth, right?
Right, yeah. And so that's just the first part of the invocation. And then the next step is that I actually walk people through the energy practice and the meditation part. So that just is the opener. And then we have the meditation part that is the closer. And in the book, you have the option to download free audios for each day from me. So if you'd love to meditate by being through guided visualization or guided meditation, that's an option as well.
Yeah, that's a great one. I'm going to try that as soon as we end the show, because that looks like a lot of fun too. So you can just relax and listen to your voice and be guided through the connection process, which is so important. So tell us more about the specific roles of these angels, because they all have their own special talents, right?
They do, and actually, to be honest, there's a lot of debate on which angels do what, and what their roles are, and what they look like, and what color they use. And so, for me, what I do is with every practice and every book whether I'm doing this book or I'm doing a program, is that I just invite the archangels to come to me. And whoever it is, I let them give me the impression of what they want to work on. But, yeah, there's a general understanding of what they're for, but I love to leave it up to the readers and empower others to make their own self-discovery, because my information or books that you're reading from 1,000 years old or 2,000 years old may not, it may be different for you. And I've definitely seen certain archangels come around and help other people in ways that are not written about. So I like to leave it up to everyone to empower themselves, because I didn't learn about archangels or angels from books either. I stumbled across it, and they started connecting with them and started playing with them. So we're just going to play.
So basically,
over the years,
I'm picking up is I'm sorry, PK, go ahead.
I was going to say, over the years, many times there's the mention of when we see feathers, or if we find pennies, or all these things are to get our attention, to pay attention to the angels that are around us. That if we're looking for an answer or we're fearful, many times a feather will just appear out of nowhere. There's no birds around or anything else. You could be in the house that have no reason for it to be there. But do you find that there are things that are placed in our way to get our attention, to gravitate towards looking at what the angels have to offer us?
Oh, my gosh, absolutely. And I will say that is true because of the online communities that I run. I have a Facebook group called the 7-Day Miracle Challenge, and this is when I started reaching international communities. And I was just so taken aback with all the feathers coming around to people. And some of the feather stories are fairly insane, and I actually taught an angel workshop, and I was talking about feathers, and one of the women went home and she was cooking. She opened up this old cookbook, and out of the cookbook, a white feather, like a 5-inch white feather, dropped down onto the floor, and she just couldn't even believe what had just happened to her. So yeah, they are really masterful at bringing feathers around people and coins. And there's a little debate on, okay, who's bringing the feathers? Is it ancestors or is it angels? And my quick answer to that, it's essentially whoever whichever being is most pressing. If you've been talking to angels, more than likely it's angels.
That makes good sense.
So when you are working with people in your Facebook group, it sounds like you're getting a lot of wonderful stories from people of great success of how angels have helped them.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that's what keeps me going. All of this. Let's all remind myself that I was a psychotherapist. So for me to do anything and release anything angel-wise, besides just my one-on-one practice, it takes a whole lot of weird courage and faith to then bring this workout, to the next level, And so, yeah, I was just, hoping and praying, and I was just shocked right away when I released my very first free online program. It was called the 7-Day Miracle Challenge. And oh my gosh, the feedback that started pouring in was incredible, like the healings that would happen for people and all of this stuff. So that, I think my biggest reason that I host these online communities is because it keeps my faith brewing. And it's so wonderful to see all of this angel activity happening in New Zealand and South Africa and everywhere. It's really cool.
Well, and one of the things that I'm intrigued with is instead of you basically doing an invocation for one specific angel who you think does healing or reveals mysteries or whatever, that you kind of leave it open, right? Is what you're saying? You're like, bring me the best angel that does this, or whomever wants to help me do that?
Yeah. So this book was written by the angels, essentially. And so the program was written by the angels. So I would sit and say, which archangel has a gift for these people today? And sometimes it would be one archangel, sometimes it would be one or two, or sometimes like it would be the seraphim or the cherubim, I hadn't officially, even back then, I hadn't officially worked with these orders of beings. They just came through, and then I did my best to translate what they were sharing with me. But yeah, a lot of them actually do align with the things that they're traditionally known for, but some of them don't. And the way that they're kind of blended together, they kind of alchemize really well together and synergize their energies to create certain effects.
That's so interesting. So tell us more about what you've learned about specific angels. Like, tell us about Raziel.
Oh, Raziel. Yeah, for a long time, Archangel Michael was my big cheese. And he really helped me start giving me the courage, I think, to bring angel work into my one-on-one practice, and really helped essentially detox me from the pollutants of pain and trauma and who knows what else I was carrying at the time. So, Archangel Michael's always great at clearing out the low end and fear-based energy. So he was my first big cheese. And then my next big cheese was Raziel. And he really started showing up when I was to start teaching in a broader way and start not just doing a little workshop here and there, but start going international. And so I feel that he helped me expedite my ability to drop down esoteric wisdom quickly, because if you're doing a webinar or I'm doing a healing and I don't have 45 minutes with one person, I have to knock it out of the ballpark and make something happen quickly and get the wisdom quickly. And so he really started helping me work with some of those kinds of mysteries and working at quantum speed and gave me that kind of strength, if you will. And
what about physical healing? I mean, there's so many people that are dealing with physical issues, whether it's that we're all getting old together or there's other things going on. Are there any specific archangels that you call on or that you ask to step forward for healing the physical body?
Yes, and I think what traditionally people say is Archangel Raphael heals the body, but that's not always the case from my perspective, because when I've seen a lot of the healing come, it doesn't always come just from Archangel Raphael. Archangel Raphael is masterful at healing the body, don't get me wrong, but if the source of that manifestation is psychological or if it's emotional, or if it's based on this relationship, or if it's based on ancestral issues, then it would be a different potency or a different energetic that we would need to kind of weave in. So I believe in angel alchemy, and actually my 6-month training is called the Angel Alchemy Academy. So part of our work is not just trying to heal the physical manifestation. That's the final place that you're going to see the results. You're going to see the tumor happen, but sometimes working with other angels will actually get to the source, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It does, because we all know that the source of illness is oftentimes somewhere other than the physical body, and the physical body gets loaded with it. So
exactly.
So
by the time it hits the physical body, by the time it hits the physical body, Archangel Raphael is super powerful. But I also like to go deeper with it and go, okay, what is the source of this? Is this anger and rage? And then so the two that I will always call on for physical healing, no matter what, is Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael, because Archangel Michael is going to clean up any debris that's there. Archangel Raphael is going to help with the physical healing, and he even helps with the healing of the energy body as well. But then sometimes there's archangels that will come forward, or other angels that are come forward and address this other need that needs to be cleared, whether it's, again, ancestral or just some belief system that needs to be healed, because if you don't heal the belief system, then this physical manifestation may just come back.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Now, give us some examples of some healings that you've seen take place.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'll just give you like the latest one on the scene here.
Okay.
You know, I already mentioned that I teach a 6-month training in intuitive healing, spiritual healing. And so I just got word back about a month ago, but one of my students was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. She's up in Canada. Yeah, it's pretty intense, and it's always like really tricky when we hear that news by anyone. And so she told me that she was diagnosed, and she told me maybe a couple months after she was diagnosed, and she told me that her guidance was to, because she had gone through the training, she's already talking to spirit. She dialed into her intuition, into her spiritual self, and they told her, even though the doctors told her to operate, and the doctors told her to do chemo because it's a very, what do they call it? Very potent form of cancer, and it grows fast. So
it's aggressive.
Aggressive, thank you. So yeah, they said it's aggressive, and she said, I know, but she opted to not do any of those treatments. She was guided that she was going to heal this for herself through spirit. And so we worked together, and she was in my mentorship at the time. And what is really funny about this is that as I'm having sessions with her and we're talking, and she's working her own magic. I mean, she's doing self-healing on herself and eating the right foods. She's doing exactly what she was guided to do. But as we're talking, because we're doing video talking, she's like smoking cigarettes the whole time. Okay. And I was like, look, I know. And I'm like, okay, look, you're smoking and you have cancer and you're not doing any treatment, and don't you think? And she's like, look, smoking's part of my bliss. I couldn't even deal with it. I was like, okay, to each their own, sister, to each their own. But I was, supporting her along the way, of course. And so just about a month ago, she messages me. She said that she got the test from the doctor, the final test from the doctor, and she is 100% cancer-free with 0 surgery, 0 chemotherapy, and the doctors, she said, were extremely baffled on how that happened.
Amazing, isn't it?
That is
and she's smoking the whole time. I couldn't believe it.
It's amazing.
I know.
My goodness.
So anyways, yeah, those things, because of the work that I do and because I have so much access to so many beautiful people all over the world, I get to hear these miracles. And, that first miracle that I told you guys about where that bird divided into three, that was literally just the beginning of many, many miracles. And some of them are hilarious and some of them are hallelujahs and some of them are really sweet and cute and small. And some of them are just like, what just happened to all of us?
Now, it seems like from what you're sharing that the angels do have the power to bypass a lot of our resistance to healing or having a better life or a better job or finding our soulmate, because clearly it's our own resistance that prevents that from manifesting. So the angels are able to just go right through that, cut right through that.
Well, I want to say it's not the angels that are doing it. It's our intention and our will. And then because people don't heal sometimes. People just don't. Sometimes it's not their time to heal. But it's our intention and our willingness to invite and accept these energies in. And I just want to be clear. Sometimes it's not good enough to just be like, I believe in angels. Help me, angels. Not if you're carrying a big load of crap with you, because the good juju can't even pierce through sometimes through the stuff that we're carrying and the burdens. So I wasn't able to really experience full light until I had energy healing session, which is why I do energy healing inside of even the book. It's like, well, just in case you're feeling a little stuck, let's help move things around for you. But yeah, angels, if that's your intention, then angels can have like carte blanche. Like they can help us with anything. And I've seen incredible things happen when everything's aligned, when the human is ready, and it doesn't have to be this ultimate, like they don't have to come from this incredible place of faith. They just have to be open to it because they want to heal and they want to feel better.
So sometimes it's as simple as that, and the angels can step in and do their work. And I love how you talk about the angels, that they really want to help us. It's not something that we're so much lesser than them and we have to beg for them to help us, that they want to help us. That's a big difference.
Is it? Yeah. It's definitely not how my impression growing up about spirit or angels or really anything. I found through the years, and I'm sure you guys as intuitives and would agree that they're really there to collaborate with us. And that was shocking, and this is why I really promote learning how to develop your intuition and deepening your connection with spirit, because sometimes it's really not what we read in the books or what we were taught.
Exactly. Now,
Very
have
true.
you?
Very true.
Yes.
You look at the word angel. In numbers, it's a 2 and a 1, which is male and female. It totals a 3, which is about communication, creativity.
Wow.
For one name.
Wow. Nailed it. That's amazing.
PK is on a roll tonight. I love it.
Oh my God. I know, PK. I want to just keep you in my pocket. Just kind of walk around with you. Just tell me about.
Call me anytime.
All the truth. All the truth happening all at once. It's so great.
Now, Corinne, do you see them? Do you hear them?
Oh, what an excellent question. So I feel them. That was my first spiritual gift that opened up, was I think I mentioned earlier, I felt the presence with me. And so I'm clairsentient primarily. That was my first gift to awaken. If I'm in session, I mostly feel and I'm claircognizant, so I'll just know things. But when it is really important, then they will show themselves to me. So it doesn't come. I don't see a bunch of wings. I mean, every once in a while I've had the grace to see something that's kind of like a wing, but they come to me in like light and just a bunch of beautiful big energy. And we all see we can all see the same apparition totally differently based on our filter.
Right. So do you see colors with the light? Because I know Raziel, you've described in the book, and I've heard he's described with a rainbow of colors. Or how do you see him?
Yeah. Okay. So Raziel is really interesting because I just feel a kinetic energy on top of my head. So like when I train people on how to discern which archangel's which, they have to discover like how they uniquely come to you. And so for me, it's like energetic twitch on top of my head. Although sometimes I have seen the rainbows. I saw him appear like a giant in the sky, and that was incredible. But it was like this arc of a rainbow. It wasn't quite a rainbow, but I could see his rainbow light. And my impression that day was that he was helping bridge worlds, helping to bring worlds together. There must have been almost like the Rainbow Bridge when I'm thinking about it, like bringing travelers, helping travelers get from one realm to the next.
Okay. And so, well, I know, PK, I'm going to ask on your behalf here. PK has had some health problems lately, and mainly back recently, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately,
now how would you handle that? Let's
fine.
say that PK comes to you with back problems and says, she's having a hard time getting through this and getting over this. What would you do for her as a client?
Yeah, well, if I was doing a session, I don't do many one-on-ones, but these days, but here's the first thing I do is I just sit with them and I hear what the story is. It's the therapist in me, and then I take them into a process of going inwards and taking a little, journey, checking out. A lot of times I'll just ask the body, like, what the heck's going on? And sometimes the body has its own story. But again, I found that there's no one formula for everyone. So I would have to kind of sit with her, feel into the energy of what's going on, get the energetics of just the past, like of this life. And then I like to kind of do assessments of this physical life, and then I look at maybe some past life stuff, some spiritual stuff, some emotional stuff, and talk to the body, because the body generally is one of the greatest resources. And then once we kind of have gathered some data, then I see who comes up, based on all of this data, who's here in the room, and then we just work on clearing some stuff and doing the work. But
can you do this with people long distance?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I mean, my training institute I'm teaching people how to do it across oceans, because we have a international community. So yes, what's so amazing, and I didn't know that this was true when I first left my one-on-one on the ground practice and started moving more towards teaching internationally. I didn't know if it would totally translate into long distance, but absolutely, angels are energetic beings, energies everywhere. They're light speed, beyond light speed. So yeah, it does work. It does work, but I also feel that every individual has a unique practitioner that's going to work for them, and no one person is perfect for everyone.
Okay, so you call in different angels or whomever is the best suited to help your clients, and you said you don't work one-on-one much anymore. So what if somebody did?
I do sometimes, but go ahead.
I was just going to say, what if somebody wanted that experience with you? Is there a way that they can contact you and set that up?
Yeah, for you guys, look, on my website there is a contact. So people can email me, and we'll see if we can, we open up some times for people. I've actually been kind of hankering to get back into the one-on-one, because sometimes the work that I do is so I'm usually talking to groups or working with groups, but I've been missing the intimacy of one-on-one work and the really special quality of building that relationship.
Yeah. So, okay. So then people can contact you there and see if that is a possibility. Great. Now, what I know PK asked you the great question about feathers, and as we're talking right now, I'm picking up some floral scent that is just beautiful. What about flowers and angels?
Oh my gosh, are you really, like, right now?
Right now.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so but first, before we talk about that, okay, I always forget the name of this one, but I call it clairsmelliant. Are you a clairsmelliant?
I like that.
That's a new one.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Yeah, sometimes it's angels. Usually it's the timing of things. So if we're talking angels, it's probably an angel. You just happen to be clairsmelliant, so you're picking up how that particular angel's coming through to you. But, if I were sitting with you, maybe I would feel like a brush against my cheek or something like that,
Right. And, are there certain scents that come with certain angels? Because I know a lot of people talk about Mary and roses.
I've heard that one.
Yes. And what about angels and other types of floral scents or oils or something like that?
Here's the truth. My sinuses are terrible, so I am not clairsmelliant whatsoever. So I cannot validate or deny any of that.
Okay, that's so funny.
I know it's a constant sinus issue, but I have envy of all clairsmelliants. Sometimes if I'm teaching one of my classes and we're it's an online thing and someone's like, oh, it could be in Australia or wherever, France, and I'll start lighting something up or working with sacred tobacco, which is one of the practices that I use. I also work with shamanism and things like that. But it's amazing that people can smell even the spirit of plants from across oceans. So I'm always envious of people who can do that.
That's funny. Gosh, now so you do work with tobacco. Any other types of herbs that you use as offerings or to open doorways? What do you use for that?
Okay, well, I know the sage is all the rage, but I'm really interested in anything coming from the Amazon region. And so I love working with tobacco. Amazonian tobacco, which is I forget what it's called, Amazonica rustica, Nicotina rustica. And it's extremely powerful. And believe it or not, I know this is contrary to what we believe in the West, but the power of tobacco, the spirit of tobacco can be a great ally in detoxing your energy body and putting protection around you. So I work with tobacco a lot, especially because I work with so many people, just energetically, like kind of plugging into me, and I'm kind of feeling on people energetically a lot. So I work with tobacco just as extra support. The plants are amazing. So I'm not recommending like everyone going out to go smoke a pack of cigarettes. Okay, even though that did work for one of my students, it may not work for everyone else.
Yeah, really.
So.
Well, and there's a lot of additives in the cigarettes that people smoke. So when you talk about
in those ones, yeah.
Yeah, when you talk about a different kind of tobacco from South America, that's a whole different breed of cat, right?
It's beautiful.
It's a clean
and
product, not like we get.
What was that?
I said it's a clean product. It isn't where all the additives do with
and
hair.
it's also I feel part of doing it ceremonially with intention is different than using it as a vice. But something else I need to say, because if you don't know about this scent, you need to get it now, ladies and George. Copal. Have you guys burned copal before? Copal.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yeah. I love that smell.
I love it so much, and I get I order it from the Amazon from one of the tribes out there, but it's the one that I use is dark. It's like a dark resin. I don't know if there's different kinds. There's like white copal, but the one that I get is not white, and it's just so freaking delightful. Everyone should know about it.
And what does this do for you when you're doing a ceremony or speaking with the angels? What does it accomplish?
Oh, okay. So I burn incense every morning when I'm opening up my prayers and calling in my allies, talking to the angels. But for me, when I burn these resins, it's just like sage. These things are here for us to help detox and neutralize some of the dark energy that we pick up. And so I feel a huge difference. Sometimes I will get out. I have a big fire urn. And I'll get the big fire urn out and I'll burn Palo Santo, which is another one of my favorites that comes from the Amazon, and copal, and it'll just be this. And I'll have my kids go out and we'll just waft everyone down with the good smoke, and it's just so fun.
Interesting.
So you said that you get it directly from the Amazon, so this is a place online that we can go find and order from?
Yeah, I don't know the website offhand, but you could probably, you wouldn't have to order it from the Amazon if you want to get Copal or Palo Santo. You could probably get those on Amazon.com as opposed to the Amazon.
Oh, okay.
When I was talking about Amazon earlier, I was actually talking about the Amazon.
Right, that's what I thought.
Okay, just making sure. Wow, I'm just making those connections there, but you could probably get Copal from Amazon.com.
Okay.
It's a heck of a trip otherwise.
That's so funny. Oh goodness! Now, when you work with people, do you also instruct people to pay attention to their dreams in case angels speak to them that way?
Yes, they can talk to us in all kinds of ways, through the television, through the news feed, on our social media, through our dreams, through all kinds of signs and billboards. And, again, once you open up yourself to the angelic field, you'll start noticing things will start jumping out at you in a different way that maybe the day before or the week before would have been benign to you, but your senses start wakening up. Your intuition begins to wake up because they really help activate us in that way. And then soon enough, we're starting to feel the truth and hear the truth and smell the truth for some of us.
For the lucky ones.
for the few lucky, the handful of lucky ones out there.
That's great.
So when I first
wow.
started,
now, what is your website, Corin?
It's CorinGrillo.com. CorinGrillo.com.
Okay, and people are texting me about your Facebook page. What is the name of your Facebook page?
Oh, it's Corin Grillo. And so
Same
you'd
thing
be able to
for your Facebook page?
Yep, Corin Grillo, yes. And
what
also,
if they want to join the 7-Day Miracle with you there?
7-Day Miracle Challenge board. Just look for the 7-Day Miracle Challenge with Corin Grillo, and then that's the Facebook group. However, if you want to go to my website, you'll see something that says the 7-Day Miracle Challenge. If you opt into that, you'll actually get 7 days, a 7-day practice with the angels with that one, and then you'll also get the link to the Facebook group for that one too. So you can do it either way.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Wonderful.
Excellent. Well, I have one more announcement to make to our entire audience, and that is this. It looks like we are finally going to be making a move from Blog Talk Radio to Spreaker. So please keep a watch on our Facebook page, Twitter feed, website, etc., so you can follow us to our new broadcasting venue. And we've been asked to move a long time ago, but being the stubborn women that we are, we stayed put as long as we could, but now it's time to move over to Spreaker. We hope to have a better sound quality and also a lot of other pleasant changes as we make that move to Spreaker. We already have an account on Spreaker. You can find all our shows there, but we will be broadcasting from Spreaker. And next week is Thanksgiving, so we are just going to do a repeat show that you can listen to, a podcast for you, and then we'll be back live, not next week, but the week after, with more exciting shows for all of you. But we wanted to wish you all a very happy and safe Thanksgiving. Enjoy whomever you're going to be spending it with. Be safe. Keep in mind what PK shared, that there is still that shadow period of Mercury retrograde, so walk gently and softly until that's over. And anything else?
Don't drink and drive. That's very important at this point.
Say that again, PK.
About don't drink and drive, because we're under that 5, which is so accident prone that people are going through until this month is over. We've got that backing us up. So it's going to be too easy to have fun and to socialize and forget when we hit the road.
Okay, we don't want to forget that. So be safe. And Corin, I know you just dropped the call, but we wanted to thank you so much for being with us tonight. Great show. Everybody, the name of the book is The Angel Experiment, a 21-day magical adventure to heal your life by Corin Grillo. Terrific guest tonight. So 2 weeks from now, we're going to see you again. Until then, we'll see you on the Blue Highway. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and good night.
Happy Thanksgiving. Good night.
Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for another radio adventure with Supernatural.